Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to basically extract the core insights from some really complex stuff and get it right to you. Today, we're jumping into a field that's just, well, exploding. The intersection of biology, nutrition, and human performance. It's all about maximizing what our bodies can do. Our sources map out how we can understand the human engine, not just what makes it run, but how to actually tune it for peak efficiency. Think cellular mechanics right up to like personalized fueling based on your DNA. So our mission today, give you the fast track. We'll move quick from the basic science to some pretty surprising real-world uses and even look at the careers driving this whole thing forward.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating here, I think, is that it's not just about eating healthy anymore, not the basic stuff. This field digs into that super detailed relationship between, what we put in our bodies and how our biological systems actually respond. That's the key to tackling some huge global issues. It's really about using science to unlock peak function.
Okay, right. So let's unpack the foundation first. Biology. It has to start there, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
It gives us the blueprint, the architecture of the human body cells, organs, all those intricate systems. That's our, operating manual.
Exactly. And if biology is the manual, nutrition is, well, it's the fuel, the oil, the maintenance schedule, all rolled into one. It's the practical side. It shows how every single thing we eat influences these really crucial internal processes. We're talking specific biochemical reactions, metabolic rates, how efficiently we actually break down food, absorb it, and then, use those nutrients to build and repair everything.
Okay. And when we talk nutrients, the sources break it down pretty clearly. You've got the big building blocks, right? The macronutrients.
Yeah.
So carbs, proteins, fats, the energy and structure stuff.
And then equally important, though, sometimes people forget about them until there's a problem, are the micronutrients, your vitamins, your minerals. And the real expertise here isn't just knowing they exist, it's understanding their roles. Like how magnesium does one job in a cell signal and vitamin D does something completely different. And getting those levels right dictates how well those biochemical assembly lines actually run.
Right. So it's not just listing ingredients, it's understanding the machinery. Now, if we zoom out from just personal health, how does knowing all this help with bigger, public health problems?
Oh, hugely. It gives us a lever to push against massive global issues. The sources are really clear on this. It helps us fight widespread malnutrition more effectively, for sure. But also, critically, tackle chronic diseases. Things like metabolic syndrome, heart disease, type 2 diabetes. I mean, nutrition is often at the absolute root of these, not just something you tweak later. The science gives us the tools to actually engineer prevention, not just treatment.
Okay, that reframes things completely. So if this science helps people who are seriously ill or malnourished, what happens when you apply that same level of biological precision to someone just trying to be their best physically? This is where it gets really interesting for a lot of people, right? Moving from just surviving to actively boosting potential.
Absolutely. That's the heart of sports nutrition. It's a direct application of all that biology we just talked about. You're using really specific targeted dietary strategies. Why? To improve athletic performance? Yeah, but also to massively speed up recovery and even prevent injuries before they happen. But the key, again, is that biological understanding. You have to get how, say, protein timing interacts with muscle repair right down at the molecular level, or how certain fats influence inflammation pathways after intense exercise. It's not just grabbing a protein shake, it's a really calculated biological intervention.
So it's way beyond just refueling. It's more like actively managing your internal systems. But the sources push this further. It's not just muscles and physical stuff. They talk about it impacting mental acuity and emotional resilience. How does nutrition play into brain performance?
Yeah, this is a super active area of research right now. We're understanding more and more that specific dietary patterns and even just the availability of certain nutrients directly affects brain health, cognitive function too. For example, deficiencies in certain things like omega-3s or some B vitamins. It's not just that you feel a bit foggy, it can actually slow down the physical speed of your neuronal signaling, literally slows down your thinking.
Wow. Okay, so the lunch you eat could genuinely affect how quickly you process information this afternoon. That really changes how you think about your daily meals.
It really does. And the research is leading to practical insights, connecting diet to things like better academic results or sustained focus for demanding jobs and just generally better mental well-being. It's fuel for your brain, basically, dictating performance in the office just as much as it does on the sports field.
All right, let's shift gears slightly. What makes this field different from, say, just studying biology?
The sources emphasize its interdisciplinary nature. It's not stuck in one box. Oh, definitely not. And that holistic approach is absolutely essential. Why? Because human health is almost never about just one single factor, right? So, someone graduating in this field needs to be good at core biology, yes, but also biochemistry, physiology, and this is critical, behavioral sciences too. You need that mix. You need to understand the molecular journey of food and the psychological reasons why someone might struggle to stick to a healthy eating plan. It's both.
And the real-world challenges reflect that complexity. The sources mention things like designing truly personalized nutrition plans for elite athletes, where a one-size-fits-all approach is basically useless,
Yeah.
but also tackling these big public health shifts.
Exactly. Like addressing diet-related diseases, but specifically doing it now in the age of personalized genomics. That link is key. We're genuinely moving away from just giving generic advice to everyone, towards advice tailored to your specific DNA.
Okay, that leads us right into the future, into innovation. What's the main tech driver making this personalization possible?
It's really the advances in genomic studies. That's the engine here. We can now use tech to identify these tiny variations in your DNA. They're called SNPs, single nucleotide polymorphisms. And these SNPs can tell us a lot about how you specifically metabolize certain nutrients. So, for example, we might find out an athlete is a fast metabolizer of caffeine because of a specific SNP. What does that mean? It means caffeine hits their system way differently, maybe wears off faster compared to a slow metabolizer. That kind of detail changes everything about pre-competition strategy.
That is incredible precision. Using your actual biological blueprint to decide what you should eat before a race.
Yep.
So for someone listening who's maybe getting really interested in this world, what kind of career paths open up if you master this stuff? Where can you take this knowledge?
Oh, the roles are really diverse and rewarding too. You see people becoming clinical nutritionists, working in hospitals or clinics. There are sports dietitians, obviously, working with teams and athletes, researchers pushing the boundaries of what we know at the cellular level, or educators taking this vital knowledge and getting it out to the public, to schools, to communities. Lots of paths.
And what's the common thread? What's the most crucial skill across all those roles? Is it just knowing the science?
The science is fundamental, of course, but I'd say the absolute key skill is translation. You have to be the bridge. You take all that complex, detailed scientific knowledge, the stuff about SNPs and metabolic pathways and inflammation, and translate it. Translate it into practical, understandable, and importantly, actionable advice for a real person. Whether that's a patient, a client, or a whole team, these professionals are the ones really making the difference, enhancing health, performance, quality of life, worldwide, really.
So stepping into this field, it's
Okay.
really about joining a community trying to unlock our full biological potential.
Precisely. It's a field grounded in making tangible improvements based on science. You're contributing, like one nutrient, one discovery, one improved performance at a time. It's a career genuinely focused on making people function better.
Well, that pretty much wraps up our deep dive today into this powerful link between biology, nutrition, and performance. We've touched on biology as that essential foundation, how nutrition works for both basic health and peak performance, and this really exciting interdisciplinary side, especially with genomics coming in.
Yeah, we saw how understanding the science is really the key, whether your goal is staying sharp as you age or, setting a new personal best. But maybe I can leave you with one final thought to sort of mull over. If genomics gets to the point where we can design a truly perfect diet tailored to someone's unique cellular metabolism, what happens then? What happens when that perfect plan meets, well, imperfect human behavior? Does the biggest challenge left in nutrition science actually shift away from the biology and more towards psychology, motivation, behavioral economics?
Hmm. That implies the final hurdle for personalized nutrition might not be scientific at all, but human. That's definitely something to think about. Great place to end. Thank you for joining us on this exploration into nutrition science and human potential. We hope it inspires you to maybe explore your own biology a little more closely.